Picture this. It's 3 a.m. and you're lying in bed doom scrolling to endless TikTok brain rot. You tell yourself, just one more scroll, as your thumb glides endlessly down your phone screen. Your eyes burn, your body screams for sleep, but you keep going. 5 more minutes turns into an hour. One more video becomes 20. You've been doing this every single night for weeks. Your heart pounds a little harder each time. Your vision blurs, but the content keeps coming, and you keep watching. What you don't realize is that your body is shutting down, piece by piece, with every sleepless hour. You think you're just tired. You think you can handle it. But your doom scrolling habit will literally turn into your doom because in a few hours you won't wake up at all. Your phone will still be in your hand, screen glowing, as your family finds you motionless in bed. This isn't a horror story. This is what happened to real people who couldn't stop scrolling, and it could happen to anyone. In around 2023, a 22-year-old woman in the Philippines learned this the hardest way possible. She was completely obsessed with her phone, particularly TikTok. Nearly every single night, she would stay up until the early morning hours, eyes glued to her screen, mindlessly scrolling through an endless stream of videos. It became her routine. Dinner would end, the house would go quiet, and she'd climb into bed with her phone. Hours would melt away as she watched clip after clip, never satisfied, always hunting for just one more funny video or piece of drama. Friends and family noticed she was becoming increasingly exhausted. Dark circles formed under her eyes, her energy drained. She moved slower, talked less, seemed constantly dazed, but she couldn't stop. The dopamine hits from each new video kept her coming back, night after night, sacrificing sleep for content that would be forgotten by morning. According to local reports, she would often stay up every night using her cell phone until her body grew weak. The chronic sleep deprivation began taking a severe toll. Her cardiovascular system was under constant stress. Her brain couldn't repair itself. Her immune system collapsed. But still, she scrolled. One night, after yet another marathon scrolling session, her body finally gave up. She suddenly died mid-scroll in bed from extreme sleep deprivation and physical exhaustion. Doctors who reviewed her case suspected that the chronic lack of sleep had catastrophically overstressed her cardiovascular system, most likely triggering either heart failure or a massive stroke. Her body, pushed far beyond its limits night after night, simply couldn't sustain life anymore. She was just 22 years old, and she died because she couldn't put her phone down, but she wasn't the only one. Dong Bing, on June 14th, 2015, in Changshan County, China, 27-year-old mother Dong Bing died in bed due to a chronic doom-scrolling addiction. She was lying on her side, completely motionless, eyes still open, with her phone clutched tightly in her hand. The screen was frozen on an online shopping checkout page. Dong Bing had 2 young children, a 6-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son. Every night, after tucking them into bed and finishing her household duties, Dong would climb into her own bed and begin her nightly ritual. Endless hours of scrolling through shopping apps and social media feeds. It had become an unbreakable pattern. While her children slept peacefully down the hall and her husband drifted off beside her, Dong would be wide awake, bathed in the blue glow of her phone screen, clicking through products, reading reviews, scrolling through feeds. She would regularly stay up well into the early morning hours because she just couldn't put her phone down. The exhaustion accumulated night after night. Her body never got the rest it desperately needed. But the pull of the screen was too strong. She was completely absorbed in her phone. Just one more product to look at. Just one more post to read. Just one more scroll. That June morning, she never got back up. Her family found her exactly as she had been the night before. Phone in hand, frozen mid-scroll. Dong had died during the night from sudden cardiac failure. Doctors later confirmed the devastating cause. Extreme exhaustion brought on by back-to-back sleepless nights of endless phone use. Her death sent shockwaves across China. News outlets covered it extensively as a stark warning about the deadly consequences of nighttime phone addiction. Dong Bing had been a young, otherwise healthy mother, and doom scrolling had killed her. Supkehet Sraaboon. In February 2020, 35-year-old Supkehet Sraaboon in Phranakon Si Ayutthaya, Thailand, took his phone habits even further. He was an avid smartphone user who loved to relax in bed with his device. But relax became barely move. For several days straight, Supkehet scarcely left his bed. He would lie there for hours upon hours, sometimes entire days, doom scrolling through every social media, watching videos, browsing content, completely sedentary. When police finally discovered him, the scene was haunting. Supkehet was dead in his bed, still wearing his headphones, which were plugged into his phone. The phone itself was still connected to its charger, plugged into the wall. He had been lying there, motionless, for 3 full days before anyone found him. The preliminary investigation suggested that his death was an accident caused by electrocution from the charging phone. The electrical connection, combined with his prolonged immobile state and possible moisture or sweat buildup from days in bed, likely created the perfect deadly conditions. The current from the charger traveled through the cable, into the headphones, and through his body. But beyond the electrocution itself, Supkehet's case highlighted something even more disturbing. He had spent days barely moving from his bed while using his smartphone. This kind of extreme sedentary behavior dramatically increases the risk of blood clots, cardiovascular problems, and other serious health complications. His body had been shutting down long before the electricity finished the job. Supkehet's tragic end served as a brutal cautionary tale. Doom scrolling in bed isn't just mentally draining. When taken to extremes, it can literally kill you, whether through the physical toll of immobility or the unexpected dangers of charging devices. Jiang Xiaoshan. In late June 2012, 26-year-old Jiang Xiaoshan from Changsha, China, pushed his body to the absolute breaking point for the sake of watching football. He was obsessed with Euro 2012 and was determined not to miss a single match, even though the games aired live in the middle of the night in China's time zone. For 11 nights straight, Jiang forced himself to stay awake. Every single night, he would plant himself in front of his television, surrounded by beer and cigarettes, and doom watch match after match for hours on end. He barely moved from his spot. No exercise, no proper meals, no sleep, just sitting, drinking, smoking, and staring at the screen as the tournament played out thousands of miles away. Night after night, his body deteriorated. His eyes grew bloodshot. His movements became sluggish. His skin turned pale. But Jiang refused to miss a single game. The tournament consumed him completely. Finally, after the very last match of Euro 2012 concluded, Jiang collapsed into bed at 5 a.m., his body completely spent. He never woke up. Doctors determined that his young body had simply given out from extreme fatigue and total lack of rest, with the effects compounded by all the alcohol and tobacco he had consumed during his 11-night marathon. His heart, pushed far beyond its limits without any recovery time, stopped beating in his sleep. Jiang's story exploded across Chinese media as one of the first high-profile cases of a death caused purely by excessive screen binging without sleep. He was just doom watching, sitting still and silent in front of a screen, until his body shut down completely. It became a sobering reminder that even passive viewing, when taken to such extremes, can be absolutely lethal. World Cup doom watching. During the World Cup in June 2014, another young Chinese man paid the same ultimate price. The 25-year-old from Suzhou was determined not to miss any of the live matches, which aired from midnight until dawn in Beijing's time zone. Night after night, he stayed up doom watching every single game, sitting in the same spot for hours, barely moving as match after match played across his television screen. After just a few days of this punishing routine, tragedy struck. The young man was found slumped in his seat, completely lifeless, with the football still playing on the television in front of him. There's a reason they say, leave the football before the football leaves you. Unfortunately, he took the saying too far and left his own self before the football left him. There had been no warning, no cry for help, no dramatic collapse. He had simply stopped breathing while watching the game. Doctors who examined his body suspected that exhaustion-induced cardiovascular failure was the cause of death. Essentially, his heart had given out after consecutive days of severe fatigue and sleep deprivation. There were no warning signs, no prior injuries, no underlying conditions that anyone knew about. He was an otherwise healthy 25-year-old whose system was pushed past the breaking point by doom watching the World Cup during sleepless nights in front of a screen. Chinese authorities and media reported on the incident with genuine alarm, and doctors urgently warned football fans to be cautious with their health during the World Cup season. But the warning came too late for this young man. The excitement of the World Cup combined with the magnetic pull of the screen had proven fatal. Doom scrolling lightning strike. On a stormy evening in early November 2019, a 17-year-old girl in Bangkok Clan Chaya Phum Province, Thailand, was doom-scrolling through TikTok and YouTube Shorts in bed, just like millions of teenagers do every night. Heavy rain pounded outside, lightning flashed across the sky, thunder rumbled through the darkness. But she kept scrolling to her doom, her phone plugged into its charger, the cable snaking across her mattress to the wall outlet. Suddenly, a lightning strike or powerful electrical surge during the thunderstorm had traveled through the home's electrical system and into the charging cable. The deadly current flowed directly into the phone and through the girl's body as she held the device, electrocuting her instantly. The next morning, her father discovered her lying face down on her bed, completely unresponsive. There were visible burn marks on her hand and face. Her smartphone was still plugged into the wall. The charging cable and phone appeared scorched and damaged. She died doing something millions of people do without thinking, doom scrolling through a phone while it charges. Thai media circulated her story widely as a grim warning about the risks of using phones while charging during thunderstorms, especially with non-standard or low-quality cables. The combination of severe weather, electrical surges, and a plugged-in device created the perfect deadly conditions. What makes this case so haunting is how ordinary it was. She wasn't doing anything extreme or unusual. She was just a teenager lying in bed with her phone doom scrolling, completely unaware that the storm outside was about to turn her doom scrolling streak into her doom, sending a lethal surge of electricity directly into her hands. These deaths share a common thread. People who couldn't stop doom scrolling, couldn't put down their devices, couldn't break free from the hypnotic pull of endless content, all ended up in their own doom. Some died from exhaustion, some from heart failure, some from electrocution, but all of them died because they chose the screen over sleep, over safety, over life itself. The glow of your phone screen might seem harmless, but for these people, it was the last thing they ever saw.